Welcome to Frost and Sullivan's Growth Podcast. In each episode, we take a deeper look at transformative shifts shaping global ecosystems, from industry megatrends and technology innovation to evolving customer expectations. Today, we're exploring growth opportunities in IoT and edge solutions, unpacking where the next wave of opportunity is unfolding and what it means for future-ready businesses. Think about this for a moment. A decade ago, the Internet of Things was all about connecting devices. Every new sensor, connected machine, smart meter represented another data point. The goal was straightforward: connect assets, collect data, and monitor operations remotely. Today, that definition feels incomplete. We're entering an era where connected devices don't just report what's happening, they analyze, they predict, they recommend corrective measures, and increasingly, they take preemptive actions on their own. This isn't simply another chapter in the IoT story. It's a complete transformation of what connected technology can achieve. Artificial intelligence is moving closer to the edge. Private 5G networks are enabling real-time industrial applications. Digital twins are helping businesses simulate entire factories before making operational changes. Agentic AI systems are beginning to automate workflows with minimal human intervention. And perhaps most importantly, organizations are shifting their mindset from managing connected devices to orchestrating intelligent operations. But every leap forward introduces new challenges. As enterprises connect thousands or even millions of devices across multiple locations, questions around security, scalability, governance, and operational complexity become impossible to ignore. So today, we'll explore how IoT is evolving into intelligent infrastructure, the mega trends shaping this transformation, and the strategies that both technology providers and enterprise leaders need to embrace to stay ahead. The question then is, as IoT becomes intelligent rather than simply connected, is your organization prepared for this next stage of digital transformation?
Earlier, IoT success was measured by simple metrics. How many devices are connected? How much data are we collecting? How many sites have been digitized? Today, those questions still matter, but they're no longer enough. Going forward, the competitive advantage lies in what organizations do with that data. Technologies like multi-access edge computing enable data to be processed close to where it's generated, dramatically reducing latency. Instead of sending every data point to the cloud for analysis, businesses can act almost instantly. Imagine a manufacturing plant. A vibration sensor detects an abnormal pattern inside a production machine. Instead of waiting minutes for cloud processing, an edge AI model analyzes the data immediately, determines that failure is likely within hours, and automatically schedules maintenance before production stops. The same principle applies across industries. Retailers analyze shopper movement in real time. Utilities predict equipment failures before outages occur. Healthcare providers monitor medical assets continuously. Logistics companies optimize fleet operations while vehicles are still on the road. What makes all of this possible isn't connectivity alone. It's the convergence of IoT, artificial intelligence, edge computing, and advanced analytics into a unified operational ecosystem. That's why concepts like predictive maintenance, digital twins, spatial infrastructure, and autonomous decision-making are moving rapidly from pilot projects into everyday enterprise operations. The conversation has shifted from how do we collect more data to how do we make smarter decisions faster.
Every major technology transformation is driven by a handful of defining trends. IoT is no exception. Let's explore 5 developments that are fundamentally changing how enterprises build and manage connected ecosystems. The first is zero trust security. As organizations deploy more connected assets across factories, offices, vehicles, and remote sites, the attack surface expands dramatically. Traditional perimeter security simply isn't enough anymore. Zero trust assumes that no user, device, or application should be trusted automatically. Every interaction is continuously verified, reducing exposure to evolving cyber threats. Next comes private 5G and edge as a service. Organizations increasingly want critical workloads to run closer to operations instead of relying entirely on centralized cloud infrastructure. Private 5G delivers secure, low-latency connectivity, while Edge as a Service lowers the investment required to deploy advanced edge capabilities, making these technologies accessible to more businesses. Third is the rise of single pane of glass platforms. Many organizations successfully launch IoT pilots only to discover that scaling them introduces fragmentation. Different business units use different platforms. Different regions rely on different connectivity providers. Different applications operate independently. Single pane of glass platforms solve this by bringing connectivity, devices, applications, and operational visibility together in one centralized environment. Fourth is native generative AI inside connectivity management platforms. AI is no longer an external analytics tool. It is becoming part of the platform itself, helping automate troubleshooting, optimize network performance, identify anomalies, and simplify operational management using natural language interfaces. Finally, multi-orbit hybrid networks are redefining enterprise connectivity. Organizations increasingly combine traditional cellular, low-power wide-area technologies and satellite connectivity to ensure uninterrupted operations, even in remote, mobile, or hard-to-reach environments. Together, these five forces represent something much bigger than technology upgrades. Which of these five mega trends is likely to create the greatest competitive advantage for your organization over the next 3 years?
Technology evolution isn't only changing customer expectations, it's reshaping how service providers create, deliver, and prove value. Historically, connectivity providers focused on delivering reliable network services. Today, customers expect much more. They want intelligent platforms, automated lifecycle management, integrated AI capabilities, flexible deployment models, and seamless global connectivity. One major enabler is the transition from physical SIM cards to eSIMs and remote SIM provisioning. Instead of physically replacing SIM cards across thousands of devices worldwide, organizations can remotely provision, activate, and update connectivity profiles. This dramatically improves scalability while reducing operational complexity. Providers are also modernizing their platforms to support emerging industry standards, helping customers simplify device lifecycle management while reducing fragmentation across diverse deployments. Another strategic shift involves expanding beyond terrestrial connectivity. By combining traditional mobile networks with satellite ecosystems, providers can extend IoT coverage into mining sites, shipping routes, offshore energy platforms, agricultural operations, and other challenging environments. The business opportunity is about delivering end-to-end intelligence services. Providers that embrace AI, automation, flexible connectivity, and strategic partnerships will be best positioned to lead the next phase of enterprise IoT.
Here's an interesting reality. Most enterprises no longer struggle to connect devices. Their biggest challenge begins after deployment. Over the years, organizations have accumulated IoT systems across different departments, vendors, and technology stacks. Each deployment solved a specific business problem, but together they often create fragmented environments. Operational data resides in separate systems. Visibility becomes limited, decision-making slows down, and complexity increases. At the same time, cybersecurity risks continue to grow. Every connected device represents another possible entry point for attackers. Threats such as distributed denial of service attacks can disrupt operations and compromise data integrity. This means that security has evolved from an IT responsibility into a boardroom discussion. Meanwhile, sustainability goals are adding another dimension. Organizations are expected to reduce energy consumption, improve workplace safety, and meet ESG commitments, all while maintaining productivity. Then comes perhaps the biggest challenge of all, turning data into action. Many enterprises collect enormous volumes of operational information every day, yet data alone creates no business value. Only insights and the actions they trigger generate measurable outcomes. That's why AI-powered analytics and edge intelligence are becoming essential rather than optional. So ask yourself this: if your organization suddenly doubled the number of connected devices tomorrow, would your teams gain twice the intelligence or simply twice the complexity?
How do organizations navigate this growing complexity? Several best practices are emerging across successful IoT deployments. First, security must be embedded by design. Architectures like Secure Access Service Edge combine networking and security into a centrally managed cloud framework, helping organizations protect distributed environments more consistently. Second, simplify operations. Rather than managing separate dashboards for connectivity, applications, cloud services, and devices, organizations are increasingly adopting single pane of glass platforms that provide unified operational visibility. Third, align IoT investments with sustainability goals. Wireless sensors and smart building technologies enable businesses to optimize energy usage, improve employee safety, and generate measurable ESG outcomes. Finally, turn raw data into decisions. Edge intelligence and AI-powered analytics enable predictive and prescriptive actions that improve efficiency while reducing operational risk. The organizations gaining the greatest value from IoT aren't necessarily deploying the most devices. They're making the smartest use of the information those devices generate.
Looking ahead, one theme becomes unmistakably clear. Scale will define success. Future IoT environments will involve millions of connected assets operating across multiple networks, cloud environments, geographic regions, and regulatory frameworks. Managing this complexity requires new operating models. Leading providers are expanding single pane of glass capabilities to support the entire device lifecycle, from provisioning and monitoring to software updates, analytics, policy enforcement, and security. They're partnering with cloud providers to deliver turnkey private 5G networks integrated with edge computing as managed services. They're also collaborating with AI leaders to embed advanced reasoning capabilities, natural language analytics, and generative intelligence directly into enterprise platforms. The future isn't about isolated technologies. It's about connected ecosystems where AI, connectivity, security, cloud, and edge computing work together seamlessly. Organizations that embrace this integrated approach will move beyond digital transformation toward operational autonomy. As AI-enabled IoT, edge intelligence, private 5G, and intelligent automation become the new foundation of enterprise operations, what decisions are your teams making today that will determine whether your organization leads or struggles to keep pace in tomorrow's connected world? That's all for today. Thanks for joining us on Frost & Sullivan's Growth Podcast. For access to our research, competitive benchmarking, and best practice frameworks, head over to frost.com or email hello@frost.com. We'll be back soon with more to help you stay clear-headed and growth-ready.